not too hard. I think funny. Okay, so we have angle mode, first race. Wow, super soft. Okay, so we're going to change. I can't even fucking feel it. Okay, we're in rate mode. Oh wow. Oh, they're really low. Woo! Feels like the rudder is slower than the sight. Okay, I'm on race 2. That's better, definitely better. Press the wrong button. Okay, third race and rate mode. Okay, that's quite a bit more like it. Not bad. Do it a little fine tuning. The transmitter actually vibrates when the battery's low. Really started to 3 points there. This video is potentially good for dipole. Okay, if I do it now, I like that.
Okay, quick line of sight fly here so you can see the rates we've got with it. Now the stock props, the back right and the front left were just flying off straight away. It does come with a second set that look like they fit sort of okay, but I don't trust that back right one. It's just none of the props really fit that well. And I'm not sure how much carnage this frame can really take. It looks fairly brittle plastic. It's reinforced in the right places, but I still think it's going to crack rather than bend if it hits something hard, certainly at pace anyway. So, I've put on some trusty Ladybird props at the moment. One thing I noticed is it's tuned okay, but it's not perfect. The nose is going to lift up and down a little bit, even with the stock props, as you punch out on the throttle. But don't plug this into Betaflight and try and change anything, otherwise you will brick it. It's a locked flight controller. Don't plug it into Betaflight. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. So we've got angle mode and rate 1. To arm this one, it's not down and right with the left stick as normal, it's just right on the right stick. Kind of funky, but it works. And you see that? When I throttle up, the pitch is just moving a little bit like that. It's not crazy bad, but it's there. So, that is full rate on the first setting. Really quite tame. Okay, so we're going to go to second rates. We're in angle mode here. So it's still a decent speed once it gets going, but there's needs a bit of room to turn around. You see that? It's not a huge amount. And then rate 3. Oops. Yeah, these buttons to change rates, they don't feel particularly sticky outy or anything, so I kind of feel like I've got to look down, otherwise I'm going to catch the change channel or bind or something at the same time. Instead of, I mean. Okay, we're in rates 3 now. It will disarm. If you land for any period of time, a couple of seconds or so, it will disarm, so you'll need to rearm again. Wow. I think my battery's just run out. And it is buzzing on me. Green frog in the green grass. There we go. Yeah, and it doesn't arm. Once you've got the battery buzzer going on here, or the vibrator going on in here, it won't arm again, so. Okay, same quad, same battery, different day. I recharged this one on the stock charger. I didn't actually check what the voltage was before I charged it up, I forgot. But I did notice when it came off the charger, one of the cells was at 4.25 and one was at 4.20. So it is overcharging one of the cells. We'll see if that was the actual problem or not. So I'm in the first rate, angle mode, right to arm. So that is full stick. And for yaw, that's full yaw. It's kind of fine for mellow FPV. Okay. Now, one thing I noticed at first is I'd like the dual rate button to be over on the right, because you want to keep hold of the throttle while you're changing modes, if you're changing modes in flight. So 2 beeps or 2 buzzers. That's a much better rate. Still fairly mellow, but enough for FPV round stuff. And yours just a little bit faster. Okay, third rate. Yeah, just about enough to get you into trouble. And you're faster again. And this is the one I preferred for FPV and line of sight, to be honest. But inside, maybe the lowest mode might be enough in angle mode. I'll test that next. Now, I seem to be getting better performance out of the battery, so at this point I'll probably say the stock charger is overcharging it, but my ass. Woo! Yeah, I probably didn't charge it, I guess. Once it flashes in the next 5 seconds. So I'd still like a faster rate on this, to be honest, or I should say more pitch. But I ain't gonna be plugging it into Betaflight and having to recover everything. This one's gonna be a giveaway. It might not be as suitable as the E010 for inside flying, but for FPV outside, this is perfectly usable. It's just a really small step away from something like the Q90C, and it does have loads of torque. No air mode, so if you drop the throttle in flight and hold it there, you will stop the props. I don't fancy testing the durability of this frame if it's going to be a giveaway. Like there, I'd like more pitch there for a really deep funnel. I can't really keep it funneling in the same space as easy as I would like. Corrections to the funnel are a bit tricky. I mean, it will funnel, but yeah. Okay, now I'm getting a little buzz from the transmitter. So while I think it could do with a bit of a retune, mainly on cyclic, a bit more eye, it tends to wobble around on pitch when you throttle up. Not badly, but a little bit. But we'll try this inside and see how and see how suitable it is for some indoor flying with the little prop guards on. And I'll try the stock props again briefly, because I haven't really flown outside with them. It could well be tuned better with the stock props, but they kept flying off me, so I'll get some inside flights with these first, and then I'll try the stock props and probably tack them on with a little bit of super glue. Grab it.
Okay, flying around inside now. I've got the prop guards on and Ladybird props still. I didn't find any difference in tuning with the other props. In fact, Ladybird seemed to have a bit more torque at the bottom end. At first I thought self-level was drifting a little bit, but after checking it, it wasn't. And you'll notice when I go through corners, there's a little extra correction there. It feels slightly different than an X quad, and definitely slightly different from an E010 or E013 with the camera mounted in the centre. Now, it's not something I really noticed while I was flying outside, but when you try and sit on the spot and turn, you realise it basically drifts the same way, just a little bit, that you're yawing. So you turn to the right and the quad will just a slight aileron tilt to the right. It's better for going through places than it is for hovering on the spot, and I can only really put that down to it not being a true X and the tune being a little bit imperfect. It shouldn't really do it, but it does. Now there's three major things that make this more appealing to me than the E013 setup. Rate mode outside is the first one, and that's the first thing I did with it. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Even though it could be tuned a little bit better, it's really nice and it flies great. Plenty of power, loads more than a 1S, and the speed is ample. Secondly, no props in view. This is a personal preference, but for me, if the props aren't in view, I enjoy it way more. It just feels more expansive and there's nothing getting in the way. And last but not least, a nice soft yaw. It's easy to start and stop yawing without jolting the craft anywhere, and that slight aileron lean that you get while you're yawing it's not an issue at all compared to something that you can't ease the yaw in and out of. And the prop guards work pretty good if you're just dinging around gently, but if you fly fast into anything it'll tilt it over, and if you fly up towards anything and catch them it'll generally tilt it over. But they do work as intended and stop you dinging the props up and putting little marks in the wall.
Okay, so for its price, I think this is a cracking starter kit. You could do a lot worse than this. Now there are a few negatives, massively outweighed by the positives on this one, but I will go over them. First is it's a locked flight controller. You can recover it. Sebidoki and a few others have showed. I think Solo Pro also first. I'll link those below. So if you do plug this in and brick it, you'll be able to recover it. I've left it completely stock. This is generally going to be for someone who doesn't want to build anything, doesn't want to set anything up, they just want to fly. But it leaves room to progress onto rate mode. That's the big positive. So there's no customization, no tuning, no anything like that allowed. It's just ready to go. And it's not tuned perfect. It is going to slide a little bit left and right as you corner slowly. Not a problem in fast forward flight at all, but you will notice it flying through chair legs and finessing inside. The gimbals, they're way better than the EO10. They allow gentle finessing and a lot more resolution. There's still an uneven tension. As you start to press the stick, it's quite firm and then it eases up. It doesn't really stop you flying this well, but it is the difference between this and something like the FSI 6 that allows complete finesse. And the one that I didn't see coming is the dual rates button is actually on the left hand side. Now when you're flying, you really don't want to let go of the throttle because that's keeping you from hitting the floor or the roof or a chair or wherever, and you need to tick it off to press that. And these buttons don't stick out a lot, so generally I've been landing, pressing the button and then carrying on. The last thing you want to do is press the channel change in flight. And the last one is the stock props. They basically just pop off on me. Not all of them, mainly just the back left, but the front right does it as well. It didn't really fly anything different with these than it did the Ladybirds, and I preferred the Ladybird props. I do just love those props. They fly great, and there's lots of torque at the bottom end, and they've got better speed. I think they're more efficient too. Oh, there is one more, and that's the goggles. Although I can see and I can fly with them, I don't really like them that much. It feels like there's a small box at the end of a tunnel, and it's very, very sharp is the image, but it's not within the relaxing range for my eyes to be at ease while I'm flying. Okay, so that's about all the negative really. Nothing massive in there, and all totally outweighed by the positives in my book, which are no props in view. Not a single prop in view. I think actually I might have seen a little bit in flight, but I didn't see on the DVR at the top corner. But there's, if anything, there's barely anything. I didn't notice it. So massive pro for this frame style. No props in view. And of course there's everything in the box you need to get started. You don't need to own anything at all, and it'll let you transition from self-level mode, just bootling about and learning some throttle control, into fast forward flight. There's months and months of progress in there if you don't smash it up or want more power or what have you, but it's not because the model won't let you progress. And when you are in fast forward flight, it's got more speed than the normal 1S quad. Not a lot more, but there's loads more torque at the bottom end as well, so it makes cornering a lot easier. It's easier to fly this in rate mode than it is a 1S brushed quadcopter. And that was my biggest one, rate mode. I've been dying for these entry-level quads to give you rate mode. There's a lot of Betaflight ready-to-flies that will give you rate mode, but they require setup. Or, if you want to transmit with them, like the FlySky FSI 6, or any of the other ones that are better than that, you end up paying a lot of money for them. This kit is under 70 quid at the moment, and it gives you everything. And the yaw is implemented well. That's often just completely neglected, but it's quite easy, even with these little gimbals, to finesse the yaw left and right. Rate mode and a nice, subtle, gentle yaw makes the FPV experience in my book. It really does. So, conclusion on this one, well worth the cost. So we put this about halfway in between from an EO13 setup to something like the QX95 with FSI 6 and some VRD2s. It's only about 20 quid more, but it gives you so much more room to grow with it. I'd still probably say if you are damn sure you like FPV, you're really sure that this is the hobby is for you, I would probably spend a little bit more on some better hobby grade stuff. But if you want to fly rate mode outside and not break the bank this Christmas, this is the one for me in my book. Certainly for under 70 quid. I will include this in a future giveaway, but not on this one.
I've got another one coming up soon, and there's one in progress for the moment. So don't ask about this one. It will come up probably before Christmas, and I might have another flight with it too. Over now.